What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're taking a look at the AK-205, and on paper this might be one of the weakest weapons in the game, at least when it comes to raw damage. But don't let that fool you, because this weapon has a secret that makes it absolutely insane at long range once you build it right. As always, I've got two builds for you guys. One is a thermal side build, which, as you can see from the gameplay in the background, works incredibly well for spotting and looking onto targets at long distances. The other is a stealth build made for closer range maps where you still want to control and consistency, but a quieter approach. So, what's the secret? The AK-205 basically has zero recoil the moment you pick it up, even without any attachments. That's the first thing you'll notice when using it, but when you start adding the right attachments, especially the heavy barrel, this weapon turns into what might just be the best long-range automatic rifle in Battlefield 6. Here's why. The heavy barrel description says, improves firing accuracy over extended periods. That means the longer you shoot full auto, the more accurate your bullet becomes. Instead of the bloom getting worse like with most other weapons, so when you go full auto with the heavy barrel equipped, your bullets go basically exactly where you're aiming. Combine that with the gun's naturally low recoil and an extended mag, and you can beam players across the map with ease. It's honestly crazy once you've seen it in action. Of course, there's a big trade-off. The AK-205 only does 20 damage per shot, and with a relatively slow rate of fire, it's one of the slowest close range time to kill values in the game. So once you learn to avoid close quarter fights and instead play it to its strengths, this gun becomes an absolute shredder. Here's the basic rules. Don't use this weapon on small infantry focused maps. The AK-205 shines on maps with long lines of sight and open engagement areas. With the heavy barrel equipped, you don't need to tap fire at long range, just hold full auto and let the barrel do the work. And try to play a bit more defensively. Aggressive, reaction-based gunfights will usually get you killed, since your time to kill up close can't compete with faster firing weapons. Once you understand how to use it, the AK-205 becomes a laser beam rifle that dominates at range. It's unique, fun to use, and seriously underrated. If you're enjoying these kinds of build videos and weapon breakdowns, consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps out a ton and keeps these guys coming. Alright, let's get into the two builds. So this is the build that I would recommend using. This is the build that I by far use the most, and this is the thermal build. So we're starting off with the thermal sights. We have the 1.5 thermal. You can use the 3 times thermal, and with this gun overall, using higher magnification scope actually works quite well. I wouldn't really go with the 1-time scopes. I know a lot of people like those. On this gun, if you're using the 1-time scope, you're kind of in the wrong distance with this gun. And there's just better guns to use within those distances. So if you're going for the longer range maps and you use this gun, try and go something with the 1.75 or up. Even the 5-time scope actually work pretty fine on this weapon. It might be a little bit too high of a zoom. So stay within that range of like the 1.75 and maybe 4 times. If you like the 5 times, you can actually try them out and work them out. If you do unlock the thermals, definitely give them a go. They're very good. Having to just literally look around on the map and trying to find the enemies makes it so much easier, especially with the visibility on Battlefield 6 not being the greatest. So I use the thermal 1.5 times scope. Then with the laser, I use the green laser. You can also go with the red laser. The red laser is not visible to the enemy player. The green laser is. I tend to hip fire quite a lot up close, so that's why I use the green laser to increase the chances of winning those close range gunfights. Keep in mind the green laser is visible to the enemy player. Going over to the muzzle, I use the flash hider. In this game, when you shoot your weapon, especially for prolonged periods, they're going to be visible not only on the minimap, but actually in world, which means you get a bit red icon above your player model. Which basically means players can easily spot you, especially with the visibility not being the greatest. With this, you're just a little bit extra stealthier with the flash hider, because it hides your bit red icon above your player model. So definitely can recommend the flash hider. Then A must, an absolute must on this weapon, the heavy barrel that improves firing accuracy over extended periods. This makes it basically have no bloom at all. Moving over to the mag size, I definitely recommend the 40 round mag. You can also go with the not fast mag and then use the 5 points on something else. But honestly, going with the 40 fast is pretty good. You get the 10 extra bullets, which is very necessary. The damage numbers again are quite low, and you're going to be trying to pick off players from mid to longer range with this weapon. So going with the 40 round fast mag is quite good. Good combo with that heavy barrel. Then I have the lightweight, which improves the ADS speed and the movement speed. You get the standard presentation and lightweight. Got 5 points extra. What you can do is, if you want to have somewhere to spend extra 10 points on, or you want to go with a suppressor, you can go with the standard rounds. Standard rounds here. You go with the 40 round slow. And then you can, instead of the flash hider, go with a suppressor. That's one of the options you have. But I like to go with the lightweight ammunition, and then we have the mag catch for an improved reload speed. You can see the reload speed is 2 seconds, which is actually pretty good for a AR with 40 rounds. So there you go, that's the first build on the AK. On to the next build here. So I like to use the 1.75 times zoom. Again, what I said before, you can use any higher magnification zoom on this weapon. We have the mag catch. We again have the green laser. You can also toss a red laser on this, but now the real changes. We have the big suppressor. The lightened suppressor fully hides in-world spotting, basically the same thing as a flash hider does, and reduces the range where a soldier is spotted on the minimap. It reduces recoil, and you have slightly worse hip fire accuracy though. But that reduced recoil on top of already like having a low recoil weapon, so if you still struggle a little bit on that recoil, or you think the recoil could be even lower, try the suppressor out. You could also go with the 20 suppressor and then use this grip. The only down part when you use the folding grip is that it reduces accuracy while moving, so you can basically not really strafe anymore. That's why I ended up going with the lightened suppressor. We have the heavy barrel here, and we have the 40 fast again with the standard FMJ rounds. So not too much of a difference, but it's just a more of a stealthy build with even less recoil than the other one. Hopefully this video was useful. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't yet, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.